Let's see if this will hurt. Ow, ow. Alright, don't drift off, No. They're really terrifying then, right? It's like beetles have... Ow! The fact is, to make a movie about a grasshopper, I need a grasshopper. So, driven by the desire to make a movie for you, and despite the odds, I went to the area around Pilchiki Forest to find the green creature. Alright, we've arrived. About 164 yards more and we should be there. By the way, it's nice here. There's a little path. I hope I'll be able to find the grasshopper pretty quickly. Because the thing about it is that, even though it's big, unfortunately, it has camouflage abilities. If it's green, then it's a tough case. Sometimes, and at this point, I have to leave you only with my voice because the microphone decided to give up on me and stopped recording sound. So, dear microphone, officially anyway. The small white flowers, a common resting spot for grasshoppers, were vacant this time. Then I went to the nettle field, and in the nettle field I noticed a lot of spider webs. Exactly, these are the kinds of webs you often ask me about, asking what kind of spider webs they are. And this little spider, the one you can see moving there now, is the resident and owner of these webs. Listen, these are all spiders from the funnel web family, most likely of the Agelina genus. Here, I walked up to another clump of nettles, where there were even more webs, but unfortunately not a single grasshopper. I'm far from being a skeptic, but I've already walked quite a long way and damn, not a single one. It seems they've disappeared, but a disliked ladybug appeared in front of the camera instead. The situation is unclear. This is the Asian lady beetle, also known as Harmonia xyridis. There it is, 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 there it is. I scared it out. It's now in the center of the frame. They're really fast, so I don't want it to run away. Wait, do you see it? What a beautiful green female. I was right, they do occur here. She'll likely run away, but we'll see. Do you see her? But what a creature. It's not running away, that's new. Okay, it's not bad. If it's not running away, that's great. I didn't expect her to be this friendly. Damn. Okay, I've got her in a somewhat controlled position. Listen, we're taking her from this place. After filming, of course, she'll be returned to nature. Awesome. And this is obviously a female, right? Because she has the ovipositor, that little stinger. By the way, wait, where did I leave her? Here, you see, she is here, and here, there's something. There is, but it's some kind of cocoon, probably from a spider. I'm tempted to open it and see what's inside. What kind of place is this, anyway? Look, here sits the grasshopper, here is the cocoon, and right behind the cocoon, you see in the center of the frame, another orthopteran. This is a female, identifiable by her ovipositor. It's a different Katydid species, and here sits a male of the same species. I think it's a male, that's what it seems to me. But yeah, practically everything is on a square meter. Where is that female? Oh, here she is, now she's upside down. Disappointment, regret, and despair, there was a cocoon. Actually, the web was empty. Alright, no point in dragging it out. Let's grab this beautiful little beast and get out of here. Be cautious with grasshoppers. They may nip your skin if not caught properly. So we'll do it, gently. Okay, got it. Alright. And this way, she's not getting hurt, I'm not getting hurt. Alright, don't fly away. No, there's a window there and he really likes to fly around. Wait, I'll show him to you up close. That's what he looks like. I waited a really long time to make this video. And not because these grasshoppers are rare or anything, it just happened that way. I hope this video will be helpful, especially for people who are afraid of grasshoppers like this. And I happen to know that there are quite a lot of people like that. Let's be honest, when a tiny creature the size of your pinky finger flies in through an open window on a warm sunny day, it's panic, right? Is there really anything to fear? Let's start with some fundamental facts. Grasshoppers are insects. Orthopteran insects, often found in Poland, belong to the order Orthoptera. The term Orthopteran simply refers to the specific order of insects they are classified under. And indeed, they have straight wings, so everything checks out. In Poland, there are 3 or 4 species of katydids, depending on whether we count one that is actually very rare and appeared only recently. I was always taught that we have 3 species of katydids here, meaning the genus Tetigonia. This is Tetigonia, the most common and well-known great green bush cricket or katydid. People have mixed feelings about it. It's probably also the most common species of katydid in Poland. The important thing here is the nomenclature. We shouldn't call all green, large jumping creatures in the meadow katydids. We'll only call the genus Tetigonia katydids, referring to those 3 or 4 species. Yeah, if I showed you a picture like this, someone might say it's green, it jumps, it looks pretty similar to that one, so it's definitely a katydid. Well, not exactly. Well, yes, this is an insect belonging to the Katydid family, but it's called Latchin brodownik, so it's a latchin, not a katydid, despite being part of the Katydid family. I know, it might seem a bit confusing and unclear, and basically I'm nitpicking here, because if something belongs to the Katydid family, then fine, let's just say it's a katydid. Generally, yes, in everyday language, yes, but the truth is that since we have invented names like wart-browed bush cricket, or I don't know, saddle bush cricket and so on, then let's use the proper names that exist. So yes, this is a katydid, and this is not a katydid. Someone might ask, well, but is this a grasshopper? And here I can say with absolute certainty that it is not. Grasshoppers and katydids are two different suborders of insects. They are different. They differ in several characteristics. Oh, will it jump? No, it won't after all. They differ in several characteristics, including the length of their antennae, as they belong to two suborders, making it a simple classification. Grasshoppers belong to the short-horned orthopterans. Why? Because they have short antennae. Katydids, crickets, and mole crickets also belong to the long-horned orthopterans. Why? Because they have long antennae. In fact, the antennae of this katydid, actually the female, are very, very, very long. And by this feature, you can distinguish a short-horned orthopteran, like for example grasshoppers. Locusts are short-horned orthopterans, unlike long-horned ones, such as katydids, crickets, mole crickets, raspy crickets, and bush crickets. Moving on. Oh, now she's cleaning her foot. Very interesting. Let's answer a very, very important question. Is such a katydid in any way dangerous to humans? I mean, is the panic often caused by their appearance around us justified? Maybe it's not justified. Well, in my humble, subjective opinion, it's not justified. Why? Because such a grasshopper is practically unable to do any harm to a human. But because they are predators, most of them are predators, for example, such a grasshopper, its diet consists mostly of insects and it hunts very, very efficiently. It also supplements its diet with small parts of plants, but still, for the overwhelming majority, it simply hunts other, smaller insects. It has to somehow catch these insects and somehow kill them. In its case, catching and killing is made possible firstly by its legs, which are covered with spines, and secondly by very strong mandibles. And unfortunately, these strong mandibles can also affect us, and a grasshopper like this can simply bite us. A grasshopper can bite, but rarely does. I'm holding one here, and it doesn't consider me food. If I didn't see it as food, I wouldn't bite it either. However, nothing is happening here, so these aren't monsters that only hunt people. Absolutely not. But if I were to catch this grasshopper now and press it against my skin, it would hurt. Wikipedia states it can cut human skin. I haven't experienced it yet, maybe because my skin is thick. However, I suspect that a grasshopper could bite through thinner skin, such as between the fingers, due to its strong grip. And here I'll give you an example too. Of course I couldn't resist, since I have such a beautiful female here, I couldn't deny myself this moderate pleasure and the so-called bite test, meaning how strong it is. See for yourselves, let's check if this will hurt. Ouch. Ouch, that hurt. Ow. But it won't break my skin, no way, it just pinches pretty hard. Oh, that hurt too. So as you can see, yes, it can bite. It's going to hurt, especially if someone has a low pain tolerance. It'll hurt, but basically nothing will happen to us. This grasshopper isn't venomous, it's not poisonous, it's not able to inject anything into our body in any way, so really there's nothing to worry about. Sometimes it happens that they secrete a brown paste from their mouth, which looks a bit like soy sauce. That's their defensive response. If it happens, don't worry. Nothing bad will occur. It's simply not any kind of venom or poison. And now, another thing, because I got a lot of questions about what is sticking out of this female's backside. That stinger, the one that looks really dangerous, which resembles a stinger, and some people even asked me what kind of stinger it is. Well, let me answer. It's definitely not a stinger. This specimen is not able to sting me in any way. It won't try to prick me. This is an organ called an ovipositor, and it's used by katydids, among others, but also by many, many other insects to lay eggs. Therefore, which is quite obvious, only females will have such an ovipositor, and in some species this ovipositor is very, very long. Well, this one has a pretty big one, right? It almost reaches the length of the body. This ovipositor can take on many different shapes, and it actually looks a bit scary. But don't worry, it's used for laying eggs in the ground, so they stick it into the soil, not into the human body. As for the coloring, because I know that some people might come across green bush crickets that are brown or yellow, and that's an interesting fact that these bush crickets are yellow or brown only in their final stage of development, meaning when they're adults. Bush crickets go through incomplete metamorphosis like spiders. There's a small spider that molts multiple times until it becomes a big spider. It's exactly the same with bush crickets. In the spring, they hatch as tiny nymphs, which are basically miniature versions of adult bush crickets, and during their life, they go through end molts. And after those end molts, finally comes the last molt, from which this winged creature emerges. Notably, these nymphs, referring to all pre-adult stages, lack wings. The wings only appear after the last molt, so only in the imago stage, right? In a fully developed insect. And one more thing, such insects can fly. Okay, don't fly away, don't fly away. No. Yes, they have two pairs of wings. The first pair is visible at rest, like now, and the second pair is much wider. When they spread those wings, they can reach about 3.54 inches, making them quite a large insect. May beetles are truly terrifying, aren't they? Ouch, ow, ow. Well, what's wrong with you? It bit me. What a pest. That really hurt. It's time to address this issue, as it's starting to affect me. This is empirical proof that grasshoppers can indeed bite us, although it doesn't have any medical consequences. They can also fly, perhaps not as well as swallows, dragonflies, or butterflies, but they are capable. Most notably, they are excellent jumpers, which is a well-known fact about grasshoppers. These jumps assist them during flight. This is the first phase of their flight. They jump, spread their wings, and fly. That's everything I had to share about grasshoppers, these beautiful green inhabitants of our meadows, and sometimes city centers too. Let me know if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!